Hello, welcome back to my channel, To The Witchy Reader. So today, for Valentine's Day, I'm going to be talking about my favorite book ships. I have several that I absolutely love. Some I love more than others, but I didn't put this in any sort of ranking. I just put down my ships. And I will start with non-canon. There's only two. There's a handful of non-canon ships I like in media, but there's only two non-canon ships I really ship in books. So I'm going to talk about those real quick, and then we'll get into the canon ships that I love. So Rebecca and Sai from Monster High Ghoul Friends. I love the series. I probably talked about it on my channel. I'm obsessed with it. And Rebecca and Sai, I don't know how non-canon they are because Sai does have a canon crush on Rebecca, and I'm pretty sure it is reciprocated. It's just doesn't show him to be reciprocated, though they did leave the fourth book off for a potential fifth book, but that never happened. So who knows what could have happened. I also have Agrel and Lahari from the Mantis Clan by Adam Anders Johnson. I can't express how much I love them, and they just had this amazing relationship. Like from the moment they met, um, Lahari saw herself as a monster because that's how most of the world, except for her dads, have seen her. But Agrel didn't. She took one look at her and was like, "You're beautiful," and just left it at that. And it was so beautiful. And Lahari had never heard that really, and it was just so sweet to see Agrel. But then again, it is Agrel. She's just a sweetheart in general. And yeah, but it was just so beautiful, and that is, I think, the scene that made me actually ship them, and I still ship them to this day. And I know when I reread, because that will happen eventually once I can buy the books and have them on my physical bookshelf and reread and tab like I like to do. I'm going to reread, and I'm just gonna fall in love with it all over again. I just know it. And okay, now to the canon ships. So Kalika and Yukon from Seekers, my favorite series of all time. I'm obsessed with it. And Kalik is my favorite character. And Kalik and Yukon, they had this connection from the moment they met. And they really liked each other. And so much, so much that when Kalik leaves with her friends, Yukon decides to go with her. And then when they were trying to find homes for everyone, because even though they loved each other, they all had different habitats, so they knew that they were going to have to split up, unfortunately. So they were all trying to find each other's habitats, but none of them wanted to leave the others until all of them had found their habitats. Because I think they found, who did they find first? Was it Lusa or was it Toklo? I don't remember, but let's say it was Lusa, but Lusa still went with them because she didn't want to stay there and then not know what happened to her friends. So she wanted to keep going on her journey to find their homes before she went back to her new home that she had discovered. But Kalik and Yukon actually end up deciding to go back to where Yukon was after they find the other two homes because they decided that that was the perfect place for them. So even though Yukon left with Kalik, Kalik decided to go back with Yukon in the end, and it was so sweet. And because I know Yukon ends up getting injured at one point, and Kalik was so worried about him. And I know when Kalik finds her brother again, Takik, um, he makes a comment when he sees them together about I guess Cleek found a new brotherly figure or whatever, feeling upset about that she replaced him, and then Tokolo is just like, I don't think she sees him as a brother, and Takik is like, oh. And then there's Jesper and Wyland. I also put Inej and Kaz and Nina Matthias on this list because I love all three ships. Six of Crows did amazing with these ships, as well as the friendships. I absolutely love Inej and Inej and Kaz and Matthias and Nina so much. Um, I love the scene when Kaz or Inej says to Kaz, "I'll have you without armor, I will not have you at all." I love how he finds her parents for her in the end, and how much he fought to get her back when she was kidnapped. Or and I love how she was the only one he opened up to about her brother. And then Nina Matthias, I love how they had like this forbidden romance as well as enemies to lovers vibe, and how they fought to get back to each other, and they fought so hard for their feelings, and how Matthias seemed to betray her but then end up saving her, and it was all a trick, and how much he cared for her when she was kind of like wanting the drug and stuff. Love those ships, but my favorite ship will always be Jesper and Wyland. I love their first kiss. I love the way Jesper flirts with him, and Wiley gets so flustered, so adorable, which is kind of the same dynamic Nate and Matthias have. Um, and I love how Jesper is just such an idiot, and he ends up kissing Kiwi thinking it was Violet. He was just like, oh my gosh, and it was just such a Jesper thing to do. Or when Jesper freaked out thinking Wylan was dead, and how he defends him to his dad, saying he's smarter than all of us combined, and or his comment about I kind of what if I liked your stupid face, or when he had changed his face and stuff. And I just love how they both see themselves so low, but see the other so high in regards, and it's just so sweet. I also have Percy and Annabeth from Percy Jackson, and Nico and Will from Percy Jackson. Um, Percy and Annabeth obviously have this slow burn friends to lovers, which, as you guys might know, I love. It's my favorite romantic trope, friends to lovers, and I just love watching them because they also have the slow burn that we don't get enough, and I just love watching them go from friends who would do anything for each other to slowly realizing their feelings and willing to do anything for each other, even more so, and how much they care for each other. You get to see them fall in love in Percy Jackson and finally get together, but then you get to see in Heroes of Olympus them um, together even more, and like the way that Percy willingly just fell into Tartarus because he had to be with Annabeth. He wasn't gonna lose her again. Like, you can't make this stuff up. He legit did that. And then Nico and Will, they're so cute. They were always such a side thing before, though. You first get a glimpse of them in the last book of Heroes of Olympus, and they were a side thing in Trials of Apollo because the book itself was about Apollo. But now they have their own standalone, or not standalone, it's a duology technically. I read Sun and the Star. I have it. I got it for my birthday, and then I got Court of the Dead, which is a sequel, which I have not read yet from Christmas. So I'm going to reread Sun and Star and then read Court of the Dead. And yeah. So I'm excited to finally read that and see more of them because I absolutely love them and focus on them. Because they also have this whole opposite attract thing, Nico being son of Hades, being the epitome of dark. I can't speak. And then Will being son of Apollo, kind of the light, and so you think they wouldn't work, but they do. Then there's Leafpool and Crowfeather from Warriors, The New Prophecy. They have this forbidden romance, and I hate that they're not endgame, but I absolutely ship them so much. One of my favorite scenes is when Crowfeather ends up saving Leafpool from falling off the cliff, and then he's like, Leafpool was surprised because she thought that Crowfeather hated her, even though she had been falling for him. And he was like, "Don't you know that I love you?" And she's just like, "What? You love me?" And it was just such a sweet moment. And then watching through the next book after that, like keep sneaking off to be together, trying to find excuses to be together, and even running away at one point. They come back and end up having to split up because they're clans, but they love each other so much, and I wish they could have ended up together. um, so I have Sarah and Fra from An Impossible Dream by Ellie Lieberman. This book is so amazing. This entire series is amazing. It's become one of my favorites. And I finally own the first three books. The fourth one's not out yet, but I finally own the first three books. Ellie sent me the first two, and then I got the third one for Christmas. Was it Christmas? Yeah. No, it was my birthday. My mistake. And my birthday's in the same month as Christmas, so I'm like, and my birthday books didn't actually come until around Christmas, so anyways, so I'm excited to finally be able to reread them soon, and I am so excited, cause I absolutely love Sarah Frost. I love how because Sarah's like has kind of closed off and standoffish, but Frost sees her so amazingly, even though she can't always see herself like that. And then Frall, kind of like just for a while, like they both see each other, themselves so low, but see the other so high. And I love how Frall was so afraid to speak in general because of his stutter, and his father and siblings always made fun of him because they're horrible. All his siblings are horrible except for Henry, but Henry at this point wasn't born yet, I don't think, or if he was really little. Actually, he would have been born. He probably was just really little at this point. But anyways, Um, and she was like patient with him, letting him, like when he finally did start speaking to her, she was patient with him, trying to just let him get out what he's trying to say. And they have just such a healthy relationship. Like they have this like it doesn't show the like smut or anything. It's like a closed door sort of thing, but you know what's happening with them. And he was just wanted to make sure that she was okay with this because there was sort of a power dynamic with him being a prince, and I know his other brother ends up using that power dynamic to do stuff to another servant. So, which is just such a sad scene. Um, but I love it because Fra, he doesn't want her to think that he's gonna force anything because he is a prince. He wants this to be fully consensual, so he waits for her to fully consent, and she does, and it's just so beautiful. And I can't wait to see more of them as because I'm pretty sure in the fourth book they're king and queen, so I cannot wait for that. And then Robin and Art by Dance of Bow and Blade, also by Ellie Lieberman. Um, and they have this like enemies to lovers sapphic romance. Is a King Arthur and Robin Hood retelling. Arthur being Arthur, Robin obviously being Robin Hood, and they have this like they go on this journey with Arth's knights and Robin's thieves, and everyone hates each other. But Robin and Arth, even though they're fighting and they are against everything the other stands for, they still are drawn to each other, and they're very flirtatious. Especially on Robin's part, Robin is just flirtatious. Period. And they just managed to work so well. And I love the ending of this book. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. This book hasn't been out that long, but I love how the author, who's phenomenal by the way, manages to pair them together so and end the book so that neither one of them has to give up what means something to them to be together, but they also don't break up just because their paths are a little different. They manage to find a way to be together despite their different paths, and I think that's just beautiful. Um, so Celica and Angelina from Towers and Memories by Alyssa Louted, another great couple. They're more of a side thing, but I love every glimpse we get of the two of them. Angelina is this like bubbly, happy person, and Celica is she's Celica. Okay, I don't know how else to put that. She's moody. She's she's just Celica, and you think they wouldn't work, but I guess what they say about opposites attracts is really true because they do manage to work. And but then again, I think Angelina just has a thing, likes that kind of people because she hangs out with the dragons for a reason, right? I guess she's just drawn to that. But but yeah. I absolutely love their relationship, and I can't wait to get more of them in future books. Then there's Mystic and his husband in Tower in Mantis Gland by Adam Andrews Johnson. Another great ship. It's mostly a found family sort of story, so you don't get them too much. But I do love what we get of them. They are so cute. They are so healthy. They love each other so much, and their daughter, even though she is different, they don't care. They love her, and they love this found family they found themselves a part of because they kind of low key adopted some of these other kids. Let's be real. They low key adopted Agrel, Dozy, and Elira from the very beginning. And I had canon that they low key adopted them, and I'm sticking to that. I also have Tawny and blah, 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 blah. I can't speak today. It is late. Forgive me. Tawny and Bix from Librarian and the Assassin, also by Adam Andrews Johnson, another great ship. Um, I just love watching their dynamic, and they had a connection from the very beginning, and watching the two of them grow together and find out who they are while also trying to navigate this relationship was just so beautiful. I also have Lauren and Val from Warriors of Brea by T.M. Cole. I absolutely love this series. I finally have the fifth book, so I'm planning to read the fifth book. I actually want to reread the series because I haven't read the series in a while, and I own all of it. So I haven't actually read the fifth one though, but I read the other four. But I plan to reread all of them and then read the fifth one. But I can't wait to see what happened with Val, Lowen and Val from what I remember how book four ends, because I really want them together, and it's so obvious they love each other. But because of he's like royalty and stuff, they can't exactly be together, even though they definitely want to, and they definitely like each other. I can't wait to see their relationship evolve even more. And I mentioned in a different video that I really love when dynamics switch, like you see character A yearning for character B, then later on character B is yearning for character A. This is kind of similar in a different way. The roles reversed because in this first book she gets swooshed into his world, so he has to show her how his world works. And then book three, I want to say it is, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's book three. He gets whooshed away to her world, so she has to show him how her world works, which is very interesting and very funny dynamic that I did not know I needed it until that book came out. So I'm excited to finish the series and find out what happens to this couple because I absolutely love them. And I have Astra and Luco from A Daughter's Ransom. I also am behind on this series because the books aren't available on KU and I haven't been able to buy them. I own the first three, is it? And those are the only ones I've read so far. And I think there's 5 or 6 out now, plus a prequel book. So I want to catch up. And I will eventually once I have the money to actually buy the books because I love the series. And I love Astra and Luco. They have a friends to lovers, if you can tell a vibe coming here because I love a good friends to lovers. And I love their dynamic. How they didn't care for each other much at first, but they were kind of forced to be paired together until they start working together and they get closer, they become friends, and there's definitely more feelings showing, in my opinion. And you can definitely tell how much they care about each other, how much they would do anything for one another. And I always love those types of dynamics. And I can't wait to see how their relationship evolves in the books I have not yet read and the feature books because I don't think the series is done yet. So I can't wait to see that. And then there's Celeste and Sean from the Asher Chronicles by D.A. Power, as well as Tex and Kathy from Asher Chronicles. Both ships I absolutely love. I've loved watching them grow. Celeste and Sean, you saw there was definitely something from them from the very first book. Tex and Kathy really saw something happening between them by the second book, and now they're all like dating. They're all happy, and they're all in high school now, and both these ships are so cute, and I just love witnessing them. It's like young love just developing, and it's so beautiful to watch. And they're just so happy. And Celeste and Sean are definitely my favorite couple from the book, but Tex and Kathy are definitely amazing. And I definitely recommend. Um, I also have Poppy and Isabella from Hocus Pocus in the all new sequel. I like the sequel book more than the original movie, and the second movie, the sequel movie sucks, and I will die on that hill, but I'm not gonna go on that rant right now. If you guys, I'm not sure if I actually did a video on why the second movie sucks and why they should have just adapted the sequel book, but if I have not, then if you guys want that, then I will be interested in doing that video. But I absolutely love their relationship. Poppy is the daughter of Max and Allison 25 years later. She's 16 or 17, around that age, and she has a crush on Isabella, who is this huge popular girl, and she's been hanging around with Poppy and her best friend Travis, and Poppy doesn't know why because Isabella's beautiful, she's smart, she's talented, she's popular, and Poppy's just like, why is she hanging out with us this year? Doesn't make any sense. And Travis keeps being like, because she likes you, and he keeps trying to like, he's definitely the whole like best friend where he keeps trying to push them together because it annoyed Poppy while doing so. I love their friendship, but that's not the point of this video right now. Poppy and Isabella are so cute. You see them, and when they go on this journey trying to stop the Sanderson and sisters, you see them getting closer as well. And then when Isabella finally admits to having feelings for Poppy in the end, and the two of them kiss, it's such a sweet moment. Then I have Ziri and Brink from Bewitched and Oz, another duology I absolutely love. And I love their growth because Ziri, I don't remember Brink's older brother, but Ziri had a crush on Brink's older brother, and was actually kind of annoyed with Brink. But then Ziri and her friends always hid to practice magic because magic is illegal, so they hide to practice it. And Brink ends up seeing them, revealing that he has magic himself, so he ends up joining them. But then they get caught, and one of their friends gets Tabitha, I think it was, gets taken. So the group has to go on a journey to find her, as well as going to the queen to plead their case to unban magic. And in this journey, Ziri starts to fall for Brink, and you find out that Brink's had a crush on Ziri forever. And yeah, and I really like their relationship. Then there's Allie and Mikey from Skinjacker trilogy. I'm finally rereading this book. I've reread it several times, but this is the first time I've reread it in quite some time, and I haven't actually got to when Mikey is introduced yet because I haven't been rereading that long. But I absolutely love their relationship. Like, they did not like each other at first. Allie was a prisoner of Mikey for a while, and but then he ends up saving her, and they ends up fall, and the two of them end up going on a journey together, and they actually really care about each other. Um, but they both have trouble admitting that for a while. And they just have this really fun dynamic, this cute little banter, and everyone's always been afraid of Mikey, but Allie's just not. She's very stubborn, very hot-headed, very aggressive. So she's unlike anyone Mikey has ever met, and yeah. So I just really like their dynamic. And then there's Maya and Aiden from the Effigies trilogy, another series I plan to reread soonish, sometime this year. And I really like their dynamic too. Maya gets thrown into this world that she never wanted to be a part of, and Aiden is kind of her guide, helping her. And of course, the two of them get close and fall in love. And there is like a lot of twists, like there is a betrayal in this and stuff, and it's just really interesting. Then there's Theo and Jamie from Saint Juniper's Folly is a paranormal thing where Jamie is trapped inside this house and no one knows why. And so Theo ends up uh, meeting this girl. I don't remember his name. I've only read this book once, and she has powers. So the two of them start working together to try to get him out of this house. And while doing this, the two of them get really close and they fall in love. And it's just really cute. And I remember really liking them when I first read the book. And then there's a Morgan and Hannah from These Witches Don't Burn, another ship that I really enjoyed when I first read the book, but it's a duology. But also, I only read it once, and it's been a while. It's been at least 2 or 3 years, honestly. So I do want to reread this eventually, because they were really cute. Then I also have Pip and Ravi from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I haven't actually finished this trilogy. I read the first two books. I still haven't read the third one. I own the first two books. I need to buy a third one, and then I can just reread all three of them because it's been a while since I even read the first two. But I really like Pip and Ravi, how she was the only one that believed in him and his family and fought to clear his brother's name, and how he helped her doing that, and how their dynamic just grew from there. And then I have Sophia and Constance from Cinderella is Dead. Um, I only read this book once as well. It's been probably at least a year or two. But I've heard of this book, and I never really cared about actually reading it. And then I don't even know why I decided to pick it up. I think it was like when we were going through some hardships at my old house, and we lost power, and I didn't have anything to do, and we lived right by a library. So I went to the library, was looking for books to read. I found Cinderella Day. I was like, you know what? Why not? And yeah, and I actually really liked the ship because Sophia was in love with her best friend for so long, but then her friend wanted so hard to be part of this society that and then she doesn't, so she ends up running away, meeting Constance. The two of them fight for a better life together, and even I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think they actually got. I don't think they hate each other when they first met, but I don't think they got along too great when they first met until they obviously fall in love. Then I have John and Emma from Two Misty Stars by Barbara Lieberman. They were just really cute. This wasn't. I don't want to spoil anything, but this one was really different, and it's definitely more different than any other ship I added in this list. But it was they definitely were cute, and it was mostly love letters to each other for the most part. But it was just so cute and a different type of format I've never read before. But you could just tell how much they loved each other. And then there's Lala and Claude from Monster High series. Lala is aka Draculaura, but she has to hide her name because she's in human school trying to pretend to be human. And in the fourth book, I think it is, she starts to fall for her best friend's brother. And I love them from the original Monster High franchise, the movies from G1, Generation 1. And so I loved reading about them falling for each other in this book as well. I also have Lizzie and Daring from the Ever After High book series. I love Lizzie and Daring in the series as well, the TV show. Because there's always like who should Daring end up with? I always liked him with Lizzie. Maybe it's just I like the idea of what that could mean. But in this book, you could tell that which ship the author's fan of because there was definitely something going on between them, and they definitely liked each other. And I think he might have asked her out by the end. I don't remember. I haven't read the book in a while. Unfortunately, I need to rebuy it. And yeah. Then there's Sandstorm and Firestar from Warriors. The Prophecy Begins. I really liked their relationship. Fire and Sandstorm did not like Firestar at first, but then the two of them start getting closer, and you could tell how much they love each other, and then they end up together. They form a family together. The ship I mentioned before from the that was also from Warriors, Leafpool and Crowfeather. Leafpool is their daughter, well, one of their daughters, and yeah. Also, I didn't originally add them to this list, but I wanted to give them a shout out because I do like this ship, and that is Squirrelflight and Brambleclaw. Squirrelflight is their other daughter, and then her love interest Brambleclaw, who they also end up together. I haven't read the next part of the series yet, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with their kids. So, then I have Nicholas and Perenelle from The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel, an underrated series, a series that I absolutely love. And Nicholas and Perenelle aren't always like great people, but they try their best, and despite everything, you can tell how much they love each other. They love each other so much; they will do anything for each other. And Nicholas fights so hard to get Perenelle back after she was kidnapped. Um, and then last but not least, I have Katniss and Peeta. I've never been the biggest Hunger Games fan, but I never disliked it either. I remember reading it when I was younger. I read the first two books last year for the first time in probably at least a decade, honestly, maybe longer. Actually, a decade ago, I would have been 16. Yeah, it would have been a lot longer than a decade. So yeah, maybe a decade and a half. But I'm currently rereading I'm currently rereading Mockingjay, and then I want to read the other two books that came out because I've never read them. I wanted to reread the original trilogy first since I haven't read them in forever. And I do love Katniss and Peeta. They do have a great relationship. I do absolutely love their dynamic, their relationship, and it's just so beautiful to watch them grow into something. And how Peeta had a crush on her and how her feelings for him were more slow going, but you could definitely tell at times how much she loved him even before she even realized it. So yeah, but that is all on my list. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment your favorite ships if you like any of these, and I will chat with you guys below in the comments. Until next time.